بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأراضين. اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم. اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. The seventh group that we need to discuss whether they need to make qada or not are those who are sleeping during the day of the month of Ramadan. السابع حكم النائم. What is the concern about the naim? The concern is niyyah, because niyyah is a condition for validity of fasting. And if someone is sleeping, the question is, certainly when he is sleeping or she is sleeping, there is no niyyah. Is niyyah before going to sleep sufficient or not? قيل يجب قضاء ما فات بسبب النوم. It has been said, and if you look at the footnote, you see it is Sayyid Yazdi Ridwanullah Ta'ala alayhi, Sahib al-Urwat al-Wuthqa. He has mentioned this opinion. يجب قضاء ما فات بسبب النوم. If something has been missed because of sleeping, qada is necessary. وهو واضح بعد شرطية النية. After accepting the niyyah is a condition for صحة, for validity, then it is clear. ولكن كيف يتصور ذلك والمؤمن عادة ينوي الصوم قبل الغروب. Okay, if someone has no niyyah, there is no ambiguity, but the ambiguity is there when we think that mu'minin, when it is month of Ramadan, even if they sleep the whole day, someone was very tired, I don't know, or had a medicine, whatever, he was sleeping the whole day, but normally even from the night before they have niyyah of fasting. Sometimes they have niyyah for the whole month of Ramadan to fast. So there is a question how such a thing is possible, that someone has no niyyah at all. كيف يتصور ذلك? How this can be conceived while while al-mu'minu عادة, ordinarily believers make niyyah of fasting قبل الغروب, before ghurub they make niyyah of fasting, means of the day before. جوابه يتصور ذلك في بداية الشهر بناء على كفاية النية للشهر كله لو تحققت بعد دخوله لا قبل دخوله. The answer is that this is possible to think, to consider in the beginning of the month of Ramadan. Based on this idea that niyyah for the whole month of Ramadan is sufficient if this niyyah is made after arrival of the month of Ramadan, and before arrival is not sufficient. Because if someone says even before arrival if niyyah is sufficient, that's then making no difference between beginning of month of Ramadan or later. But suppose you have such mabna, such basis, that niyyah has to take place inside the month of Ramadan, and this is the first night and day of the month of Ramadan. As soon as Maghrib starts, this person is in sleeping mood and wakes up after Maghrib next day. So he had no niyyah. This is the only way to think that there is such a possibility of someone having no niyyah. Ordinarily, of course, because it's possible that someone didn't make niyyah and said, I want to decide later whether I'm going to be there or not, and then, he slept all the day. It's possible. But it's not عادة, it's not ordinarily possible. خب كما لو نام آخر شعبان قبل الغروب. So غروب of month of Ramadan, the first night, the last day of Sha'ban is followed by غروب for the beginning of month of Ramadan. So this person, when غروب of month of Ramadan means the first night started, was sleeping the whole night, the whole day, and then wakes up after Maghrib for the second night. كما لو نام آخر شعبان قبل الغروب واستيقظ في اليوم الأول من رمضان بعد الغروب, which means it is a night for the second. Or بل قبل الزوال. Suppose Zuhr Shar'i is 12. Suppose. Just before 12, without having any chance to make niyyah, he wakes up. If we say that niyyah is needed from morning, بناء على أن تجديد النية قبل الزوال خاص ببعض الموارد كالمسافر إذا قدم قبل الزوال. If we say that niyyah in the morning is needed and this person missed part of the day, or you can say missed part of the morning according to the second opinion, without niyyah. Yes, for someone who is musafir and returns home, returns watan, 11:10, 11:30, 11:45, returns home or arrives where he can make niyyah of 10 days. They say if he has not had niyyah for the rest of the morning, that's fine. But if someone was not traveling, so had to have niyyah for the whole day. So if he wakes up before Zohr, 5 minutes before Zohr or half an hour before Zohr, then this is a problem, according to some. According to some people, no. So basically, we are talking about someone that started the Maghrib of the first night of month of Ramadan with sleeping, and this continued either all the way till Maghrib next day, or before Zawal, if we say morning was necessary to be with niyyah apart from musafir. So either all day he missed or he missed part of the morning. هذا ما يقال في توجيه الحكم المذكور. Sheikh Irwani says this is what is said in order to rationalize and justify this hukm, this ruling, which is how someone didn't have niyyah at all, when was sleeping. But Sheikh Irwani has two objections or two, problems. وفيه أولا أنه or without أنه وفيه أولا لا دليل يعني أنه لا دليل على اعتبار النية أكثر من وقوعها قبل النوم. He says we don't have any reason, any reference to say that niyyah is valid, is required more than having niyyah before sleeping. We don't have niyyah as a requirement during the day of months of Ramadan, so that we say this person was sleeping and missed niyyah. If he had niyyah from before, that's fine. Why? Because we don't have any dalil al-lafzi, any text, any hadith, for example, or Quran, which says niyyah is necessary, and therefore we have to go with umum or itlaq of that dalil. Niyyah is needed because of dalil al-lubbi, and we have always been saying that dalil al-lubbi would not be subject to asalatul umum or asalatul itlaq. Dalil al-lubbi, always we go to the qadr mutayaqqan, that much which is necessary. For example, if there is ijma, if there is sirah, if there is bina' or qala, and you don't know whether it is aqalli or akthari, you go for qadr mutayaqqan. Yeah. So here we don't have any text from Quran or Hadith that has itlaq or taqeed about niyyah. It's lubbi. Therefore, we should be restricting it to qadr mutayaqqan, what is necessary. وتجر البراءة عن وجوب الصوم المقيد بالنية الخاصة. And with respect to the extra, then we apply asalatul bara'ah. So is Sawm with particular specific niyyah, for example, during the Sawm, necessary? We say no, asalatul bara'ah. The second problem that Sheikh Irwani has is this: لا إطلاق في دليل وجوب القضاء يشمل المقام. We said this many times before, that according to him, we don't have again itlaq of iqdamafat. We don't have such a hadith, for example, which says iqdamafat. Okay, therefore we cannot say that general or unspecified text would cover here, so you have to do qadha even if you are in doubt. We don't have such a thing. So he has difficulty with conception of such a case, that someone may had no niyyah at all and slept. But anyway, if he had no niyyah at all, if it happens, then yes, he accepts. Then the next group that we need to discuss is about those, or someone, inshallah they are not group, but generally speaking, group can be even one person or 0%. If we have such group that they are drunk and they have been drunk the whole day, what happens to them? قيل, so الثامنو, the eighth group is حكم السكران, someone who is drunk. يجب قضاء ما فات بسبب السكر. سكر means to be drunk. أي مع تقدم النية عليه كما هو واضح. Of course, this for someone who had niyyah. If he had no niyyah, then the issue comes of qadha about previous one, that without niyyah, even if he was not drunk, he missed, and he should do qadha according to general opinion. But suppose had niyyah, he wanted to fast tomorrow but was drunk, maybe someone forced khamr to his mouth or whatever, mistakenly took a bottle and drank. وفيه أن وجوبه مبني على مقدمتين. Sheikh Irwani says, again, there is reservation here, objection here, to accept that qada is wajib, this is based on two prerequisites. الأولى يعني المقدمة الأولى أن السكر كما ادعى بعض الأعلام مناف للصوم. in مستند العروة الوثقى سيد الخوئي تقريرات of سيد الخوئي رضوان الله تعالى عليه, it has been mentioned that sukr, to be drunk, is in conflict with fasting. بخلاف النوم. They said you can sleep during the day of Ramadan if you have niyyah, no problem. But sukr, they said there is problem. Sukr is not like sleeping. Sheikh Irwani says وَلَكِنَّهُ أَوَّلُ الْكَلَامِ. This is the beginning of the discussion. In other words, this has to be established. Who said sukr and nom from this perspective are different? Maybe if someone is drunk and doesn't understand, is like someone who is sleeping. Of course, if he deliberately, drunk during the day, that's problem. It's haram and it's muftar. But we are talking about someone that maybe was drunk before Fajr and this continued. So he says this is awwalul kalam. Wa inda shak, and if we are not able to establish this and we remain in doubt, inda shak tajr al bara'ah and wujub al qadha, then asalatul bara'ah says qadha is not needed. بل قد يقال إنه لا دليل على وجوب النية أكثر من ذلك. Not only it is possible to do asalatul bara'ah, maybe someone says, no, we are sure that there is no dalil for niyyah being required more than this. This person wanted to fast tomorrow and before Fajr became drunk. He didn't drink or eat anything during the day. So the whole day he was fasting, but he was not conscious. Second objection. الثانية ثبوت الإطلاق في دليل وجوب القضاء. Again the same thing. We have problem with saying that there is itlaq. We don't have such a text which says اقضى فات, for example, which would apply to our case. فقد تقدم ما فيه. It has been discussed before that there is no such itlaq. التاسع, there is a mixed group. المريض والحائض والنفساء. If someone was ill, or a lady was in period, or someone delivered baby and the blood of nifas is coming, لا كلام في وجوب القضاء على المريض. Marid, whose illness is stopping him or her from fasting altogether, or it's harmful to fast for his health or her health. Anyway, according to certain conditions, Marid must not fast. But later, according to the ayah, which says, Marid, there is no necessity for them, there is no, haraj on them, then the ayah says that later they do compensation, they do qadaya. We have ayah, we have hadith. وَكَذَا عَلَى الْحَائِضِ وَالنُّفَسَى. For ha'iz wa nufasa, we have riwayat. For married, we have ayah, which is ayah 185 of Surah Baqarah, and we have riwayat. for حائض و النفساء للروايات. And Sheikh Irwani says there is no ambiguity here. This is very established in fiqh. الحكم من واضحات الفقه. Any person who is familiar with fiqh of Ahlul Bayt knows that qada is needed for these cases. There are of course some details. For example, if someone's illness is continuing throughout the year, then there is need for kafar. Al-hukm min wadihat al-fiqh. Okay. Now, if someone has doubt about whether such things applied to him or her, الشك في الفوات. Okay, so if you have missed, generally speaking, with certain reservations, but generally speaking, اقض ما فات. Generally speaking, as I said, there is no itlaq, but generally speaking. But if you don't know, in the last months of Ramadan, did you miss anything? الشك في الفوات. Or al-fa'it, or you know that you have missed, but you don't know how many, what you have missed. You have doubt about whether you missed or what you have missed. الشك في الفوات. Fawat means like fault. Or fa'it. Fa'it means what is missed. إذا شك في فوات صوم أو عدد الفائت فهل يجب الاحتياط أو تجري البراءة عن الزائد. Is this a place for أصالة البراءة? We say what is known, you must do it. If it's not known, you don't do it. If you know that you have qadha, you do it. If not, you don't do it. Or if you know you have qadha, but you don't know it is 1 or 2, or is 2 or 5, just do what is needed, what is required by yaqeen. So this is bara'ah. Or someone may say, fasting was necessary, you don't know you completed or not, you have to do ihtiyat, like al-ishtighal al-yaqini yastad al-faragh al-yaqini. Sheikh A'zam Rizwanullah Ta'ala alayhi, Sheikh Ansari, Sheikh Murtaza Ansari Rizwanullah Ta'ala alayhi says, Al-mashhur bayn al-ashab Rizwanullah alayhim. What is mashhur among our fuqaha? بل المقطوع به من المفيد إلى الشهيد الثاني. Something which was certain from the time of Shaykh Mufid up to the time of Shaykh Shahid Thani for several centuries was yaqini, is that أنه لو لم يعلم كمية ما فات قضى حتى يظن الفراغ منها. What is mashhur and at certain time was yaqini is that if you don't know how many days you have missed, you need to keep doing qadha حتى يظن, not حتى يتيقن, يظن الفراغ. He thinks that it's finished. وظاهر ذلك, Sheikh Irwani Rizwanullah Ta'ala alayhi, Sheikh Ansari Rizwanullah Ta'ala alayhi suggests that this is not because of قاعدة اشتغال, because قاعدة اشتغال needs فراغ يقيني. If you know your zimma is engaged, is mashghul, al-ishtighal al-yaqini yastad al-faragh al-yaqini, then you have to do as much as needed so that you become certain. Here there seems to be another qaida which is not the general qaida. ظاهر ذلك خصوصا بملاحظة ما يظهر من استدلال بعضهم من كون الاكتفاء بالظن رخصة وأن القاعدة تقتضي وجوب العلم بالفراغ كون الحكم على القاعدة. What appears from this, especially some of them have said that to say dhan means suspicion. Suspicion here in the technical sense means more than 50% and less than yaqeen and itminan. To say this is adequate, while the general rule is that you have to be yaqeen, mutayaqin, that you have done your wajib. ظاهر ذلك كون الحكم على القاعدة. This is based on a specific rule here. خب, this is what Sheikh Azam, Sheikh Ansari has said. We will discuss inshallah more. So, the question is, if someone doubts whether he has missed or doubts how many days he has missed, هل يجب الاحتياط أو تجر البراءة? Whatever is needed to be yaqeen, mutayaqin, you have to do it if you need ihtiyat. If you say ihtiyat is not needed, so you do what you are sure and you don't need to do extra because of bara'ah. Sheikh Ansari says that mashhur, and at certain period of time in history for several centuries between Sheikh Mufid and Shahid Thani, they say you have to do till you have one, you have suspicion of more than 50% that you finished whatever was on your shoulder. ثم نقل تفصيلا عن بعض المحققين بينما إذا علم يعني مكلف عدد الفائت مسبقا ثم نسي فيجب الاحتياط وما إذا جهل أو جهل العدد منذ البداية. In the view of and the quotation of Sheikh Ansari, there was no tafsil, there was no distinction. Okay? It was general. Tafsil is what we say now, and you understand that Sheikh Ansari didn't make this distinction. It has been said that if this mukallaf used to know how many days, for example, in the beginning of Shawwal, in even Ziqadeh, when it was closer to the month of Ramadan, he knew how many days he missed. But now it's, for example, months of Sha'ban, and he wants to make sure that whatever qaza is remaining is done. He has delayed. Now, almost 1 year has passed. 11 months has passed. He doesn't remember now, but he used to remember. Does it make a difference or not? According to Sheikh Ansari and the mashhur that he quoted, there was no distinction. But some ulama, some muhaqqiqin made this distinction between بينما إذا علم means mukallaf or ulama. علم عدد الفائت or ulama or عدد الفائت. Something about number was known musbaqan. In the beginning, he knew. He knew it was certain number. He was sure. ثم نسي. Now he doesn't remember. They said, if he knew and now he doubts, يجب الاحتياط, to make sure that whatever had applied to him as qadha is fulfilled. But if he didn't He didn't know. ما إذا جهل العدد or جهل العدد منذ البداية. From beginning he was not sure. فتجر البراءة عن المشكوك. Then براءة with respect to the extra which is unknown would be applied. عليه فالأقوال في المسألة ثلاثة. Based on this, we have three opinions among our fuqaha in this issue. Number one, لزوم الاحتياط. You have to do احتياط. وهو المشهور بين متقدم الأصحاب. متقدمين من الأصحاب. This was مشهور among them. واستدل له غير واحد بالاشتغال. More than one alim, more than one faqih has argued for this احتياط بالاشتغال. قاضي اشتغال. الاشتغال اليقيني يستدعي الفراغ اليقيني. وفيه. But there is a problem here. We don't have problem with قاضي اشتغال. We have problem with applying قاضي اشتغال here. Why? Because we believe that ada and qada, we discussed this in usul al-fiqh. Ada and qada come with two different commands. Ada and qada come with two different commands. So with qada, you have to establish that qada has applied to this person. وفيه أن الذمة لم تشتغل بعنوان قضاء ما فات. Zimma is not engaged and busy with اقضاء ما فات. What is on Zimma is واقع ما فات, the reality. How many days in reality he has to do qada? And we have doubt because amr for qada is separate. You cannot say certainly 30 days was on his shoulder. We don't know how many days he has completed, so he has to do as much as is needed to become mutayaqin. No. We say month of Ramadan has passed. How many days of qada apply to him? This has to be established. Anything that in reality he has missed, he has to do if it's established. هو مردد بين الأقل والأكثر. واقع ما فات is مردد, is undecided between less or more. وما اشتغلت به يقينا, يعني ما اشتغلت الذمة به يقينا هو الأقل دون الزائد. فتجر البراءة عنه. So براءة with respect to زائد will be applicable. This is one opinion. لزوم الاحتياط. Number two, التفصيل المتقدم عن بعض المحققين, which we just said. بينما علم عدد مسبقا أو جهل العدد منذ البداية. التفصيل المتقدم عن بعض المحققين. In the footnote, he says that Sheikh Naini and Sayyid Gulbaigani in their footnotes and comments on Urwa, they have said this. بدعوى أن العلم بعدد الفائت منجز. He had knowledge in the first option. وترو النسيان بعده. ترو ترى يترأ. ترو يعني عروض. عروض النسيان بعده بعد العلم لا يرفع التنجيز. So after the month of, as I told you, in Shawwal he knew how many days. That makes qadha munajjaz. Now he forgets how many days, so he has to do qadha so much so that he becomes sure. But if he didn't know from beginning, that's not a problem. Al-Jawab. Sheikh Irwani says, yes, knowledge makes tanjiz, but it has to also remain, because you don't know how many days you knew. أن التنجيز يدور مدار العلم حدوثا وبقاء فإذا زال زال يعني إذا زال علم زال التنجيز. Tanjiz depends on knowledge. Hudusan, in the beginning of Tanjiz we need ilm. In continuity of Tanjiz also we need ilm. So if he knew and now he doesn't know, it's the same as not knowing from beginning. The third opinion is al-bara'a mutlaqa, to say that there is bara'a mutlaqa. Whenever you don't know whether something is missed, you do bara'a, or you don't know how many, you do bara'a with respect to za'id. وهو مختار المتأخرين. توضيح, of course, متأخرين apart from those who have the second opinion. توضيحه يمكن أن تذكر للشك صور ثلاث. I only mention these three options and finish this page, and inshallah then we discuss them because the discussion is long in the next session. I just mentioned these three options and we discuss it inshallah next session. يمكن أن تذكر للشك صور ثلاث. For doubt we can mention three options. ربما تستفاد من كلام السيد اليزدي صاحب العروة. We can maybe understand. He has not specified, explicitly, but we can understand. الأولى يعني الصورة الأولى للشك. الشك في وجوب القضاء للشك في ارتكاب المفطر متعمدا. One option is that we have doubt. Mukallaf has doubt whether qadha is necessary because he has doubt whether he has broken fasting by bringing anything intentionally which is muftir. For example, has he eaten intentionally or not? Okay? So the reason for shak fi wujub al-qadha is because he has shak in bringing muftir intentionally. Okay, this is one option. الثانية الشك فيه يعني الشك في وجوب القضاء للشك في حدوث المانع. Has doubt whether there was a mane, an obstacle which stopped fasting. Okay, mane for wujub qadha, like safar. Did I travel? Al-marad, al-hayd. Did I, travel? Did I, become ill? Or a woman has doubt whether her period occurred in the month of Ramadan or not. This has caused doubt about missing and then qadha being needed. الثالثة الشك فيه للشك في بقاء المانع. He doesn't have problem about حدوث المانع, but he doubts whether mane continued. For example, in Sha'ban he was traveling or he was ill. He doesn't remember whether that covered some of the days of the Ramadan or not. Okay? كشك المسافر في استمرار سفره. Now we have to discuss all these options. أما السورة الأولى and then سورة الثانية. Inshallah we discuss them in the next session. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Do you have any questions?